Hello there and welcome to the QNB Stars League review show, all in English here on Alcast, as we look back at all 6 matches in week 18. Wow, what a weekend. Some interesting results at the top of the table, which has seen a new team go into 4th spot, and down at the bottom, big wins for Al Arabi and Al Markhia, but those came shrouded in controversy. All will be revealed in the next hour. As always, in the company of 2 former English Premier League players, Nick Summerby and Chris Macon, who will share with us their expert opinion as they analyse each game in detail. Plenty to come. Let's first remind you how they lined up for week 18. This was them on Friday. 2 matches, Al Arabi versus Al Khanatiyat. Basement battle, 1650 kickoff. Then it was Salal versus Al Salia. That kicked off at the later time of 1900. 2 further games on the Saturday, 24th of February. Al Duhail Al Khor was the early kickoff, and then Al Markhia took on Al Garafa at 1900. And finally, 2 games on Sunday the 25th. It was Al Sadd, still in the title race, of course, up against Al Ahly and Qatar Sports Club Al Rayyan. That kicked off at the later time of 1900. Right, let's get straight to the action. And Al Arabi versus Al Khanatiyat was a real battle down at the bottom of the table. The permutations quite simple. Win and get out of the relegation zone. Nick Summerby and Chris Macon with the commentary.
It's Fathy on the ball there now, just spin out to that left-hand side to Khalfan. A bit of a trick there, then he cuts back. And now it's going to open up here now for Al Arabi.
He's playing the holding midfielder role tonight, Marafin.
You know, zip, I mean, you look at the top teams there, they're a million miles away from these teams. Now this is where you want Khalfan, edge of the box.
Love it, love it. Khalfan, can he get his head up? Goes for the shot instead. Involved in that midfield battle. Oh, and Abdurrahman just slides in on Jardel.
There's the ball into the box, great ball into the box, just a little bit too high. Tough, very, very poor, but now all of a sudden Al Arabi pushing forward on.
Release him, release him. Well done, Jardel. Come on, can I get up with him? Jardel going alone, is it outside the box or inside the box? Free kick. Great run from Jardel. Great run by Jardel, really opens up for him. Real turn of pace as well. Khalfan steps up. Khalfan into the roof of the net. When your big players have input on the game, and he's just scored the free kick.
And Sophia, and he's just left flat-footed. He bends it over the wall, and I tell you what, it's right what the doctor ordered. Al Arabi could be going in 1-0 up at half-time, and it's down to this little man here now, Khalfan. 1-0 Al Arabi.
There might have been a little bit of a gap in the wall, but it doesn't matter. Khalfan steps up, just whips into that near post. Diba lined up the shot, gets a deflection on the way through, and really catches Ray out at the far post. Forward to Tibucanin. Fustan nearly with an own goal there. He was scrambling backwards.
Yeah, they don't look like they're going to score. It's really been. I mean, I looked at the two. We both did. We looked at the 2 sides at this going into the game, and we thought, yeah, with the forward line, that they're better, Kratiyat, but not in this game. You know, they do not look like they're going to score. I mean, here's a foul been given against Khalfan. Now here we go, Diba. Now you go to that far post. That's where it's got to go.
Where's Moe?
You need something, you need to give him something. The man's a finisher, but he cannot get a sniff.
Khalfan on one of his runs again. Who's going to stop him? Khalfan, Khalfan. Oh! Mansour to the near post. Oh, it needed putting away that. Diba now, he's cutting on his left foot. Yep, goes to the far post. So Tursun off. Sad comes into the area. Not going down for a second then. Jardel lays off to Khalfan. Khalfan on one of his runs again. Khalfan still. It's a release it. Mansour was free on his left hand side. Gets a free kick. Poor ball by Jardel. He had acres of space to pick out Mansour. No lack of quality in this game tonight. Jardel flings himself to the floor. Flung himself to the ground and screamed as well.
Oh, I'll tell you what there, Calfan with the free kick had the keeper beat as well.
Ball by Natik and Jardel as well. He crossed, they've got players there as well. Could wrap it up here, Al-Arabi. Fafi at the far post with a great opportunity. Natik, as Ava comes over. There's a wonderful release. Salem, can he get ahead of... Oh, Salem, what a goal! What a goal!
What a goal! I'll tell you something, that's what it means to the crowd there. What a goal there. Salem just came on before for carry. He's gone through, keeper to beat, chips it over the keeper, and it's 2-0 to Al-Arabi.
Wonderful release down this left-hand side. Great vision by Salem, but what about the touch and the feel of the ball there? Just clip it over Sofian into the far post. That's a wonderful goal. Good enough to win any match. That is a fantastic finish. Deba looking for options. There's the feet of Tibukanine round the corner to Al-Yazidi. Al-Yazidi back to Moe. Good save by Zri. Might fall to Sad. What a goal that is by Sad at the far post. Chance on for Al-Karatiat again. Great play by Al-Karatiat. Wonderful ball by Al-Yazidi. It's a teaser for Zri, the keeper in goal for Al-Arabi. But look at this finish on the half volley by Sad. Fires into the top corner. The back of the game, Al-Karatiat. Wonderful finish. Look at that. Deba looking forward. Towards Tibukanine and Moe. Tibukanine back to Moe. Moe! Oh, and he skies it! What a chance for Al-Karatiat.
As I said before, seeing the highlights there, the permutations were simple. Win it and you get out of the relegation zone. That's what Al-Arabi did, Chris Makin.
Where did it come from? I didn't see it before the game. I thought Al-Karatiat had more goal scorers and more dangerous players on the pitch. And it turned out opposite, as it always does when I make a prediction. Al-Arabi just grabbed the win from somewhere. A fantastic performance. They still haven't sorted that central attacking role out. Once he's play maybe Salem, who got the first goal, he's lively off the ball. If you can play him all the time now, it should be okay, because Calfan was very, very penetrating with his runs. You need someone to feed off Calfan. When he's in that mood, you need runners off the ball or supporting him. Yeah,
but he gets them out, you know, it's tight down there, but he gets them out of that relegation zone. That's the big story.
I thought it was a fantastic performance. Yeah. I really did. And I tell you something, there was a buzz there. There was a good atmosphere there. The crowd came to support the players, which I didn't think we'd see that. If anything, the manager looked all doom and gloom. He's got to pick himself up a little bit, because they gave him a performance. And they were solid at the back, good in midfield. And they never gave them a sniff at all. And obviously Calfan stepped up. He stepped up massively. He drifts past players so easily, you know. That was Calfan back to his best.
Let's have a look at Calfan back to his best. Then something that you both picked out here, Chris and Nick.
Just his ability to run with the ball, and me and Nick have said someone's got to get up with him. That's better. There's three other red shirts around him there. So when he starts taking off the ball, just getting support of him or make a run ahead of him. Here we go again. He's just dancing past people. He's how he used to play for Al Sadd. This one, there's a release. Finds one of his teammates. We did about 4 or 5 of these runs during the match, Nick, and was screaming at players to get alongside him.
Tell you what, if you're one of the top teams, if you're maybe a Ryan, maybe a Graffer, if you want to get in that top 4, if he's playing like that, you know, he gets in there because he's fantastic.
Then he does that.
Yeah, and he steps up. I mean, we're going to look into another part of it shortly, but he was fantastic on the day. He was really, you know, and you hear different things with him. He's late to training, bits and bobs, and all. Keep turning performances in like that. It can be as late as you want. That was top quality and a big performance, that. But next game for them, Marquia.
Let's look at, you're talking about other people supporting him. Let's talk about Jardel.
Very similar, just takes off from midfield. You know, heads straight for goal there. And you look at the positions there, Calfan's about 10-15 yards behind him, he's got a player to his right, and what we're trying to say there is, once they get on the ball, those types of players, the professional players, get people alongside him. Yeah. Because when they're dribbling like that, and even if they lose the ball, get tackled, the ball's not going to go very far, so you need to pick up the rebounds.
Now then, it was a mystery, the Al Kharatiat performance, really, because we've seen some good ones in recent weeks, but no more mysterious than this piece of action by Tursunov. Nick, please explain.
Yeah, we looked at the goal, we thought, fantastic goal, but if you look into the wall now, just watch Tursunov. I don't know what he's thinking there. That's where the goal goes past. You've got to stand up and be strong in the wall. He does this sort of dive, which I've never seen it in football. It's crazy. I don't know what's going through his mind. If you're his manager, you go, what are you doing? It's not like he's getting any more height or anything, and that's where the goal went from there. So you wouldn't, if you're the manager, you wouldn't be happy.
It would down as a moment of madness.
If me and Chris, when me and Chris was playing, I don't think we'd be playing for a long time.
You'd be off straight away.
You'd be big problems from that. There, you would get the massive telling off from that. Don't know what he was thinking.
You'd be dragged off the pitch. Yeah, and you won't play the next game.
Reality is, Al Kharatiat are now in that playoff spot.
Yeah, but they came so close right at the end, didn't they? But like you said, they swapped places with Al Arabi, and it looks. How many games is there now? 4 games to go. Precarious, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's all about momentum, you know. Al Arabi got that win.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on. Salal faced Al Salih, and the winner of this one would occupy 4th spot at the end of week 18. Deadlock was broken just after the half hour. Sagbo stepped up to put Salal ahead. Al Salih had plenty of the ball but couldn't make their possession count as their efforts on goal slipped past. Even with the influential Wagner back in the side and making great runs into the opposite penalty area, it just wasn't Sami Trabelsi's day. It finished 1-0 to Talal El Karkouri's men, and the victory took them to 4th. At last, for how many weeks have we been saying now, well, Al Salih hanging on to that 4th spot, just hanging on by their fingertips. It's gone. Salal are in.
Well, you can't keep expecting just to stay there. You know, it's not been happening for them. They cannot get to the form what they were at the start of the season. Salal, since the new manager's come in, obviously they've won 2 now and got a heavy defeat in the last game. This is a big performance for them now. This has got to give them the belief. Obviously, it didn't go very well for Garafa as well, so it's down to them now. I mean, there's Sagbo there. They're going to need him, and they're going to, you know, they hopefully get their form back, because if they get their form back, they can cause some upsets in this title race like they did last season. Need this guy flying again. Need more goals out of Sagbo. But a big result. This is a huge result.
It's been quite a roller coaster for Talal El Karkouri, the head coach. He came in
for free.
Yeah, but he had the one win, which was great, and then he got absolutely hammered in week 2.
It was Al Dahail.
It was against Al Dahail.
Are you really going to beat Al Dahail or Al Sad? You look at those matches, you think you could maybe get a point, but you can't really see anyone else beating those two at the moment.
I'll let you into a little story when we get to talk about Al Khor, who played Al Dahail this week. That's coming up in a moment. But I genuinely think, and I think I'll be proven right in this case, that teams look at a game against Al Dahail now and just go, well, look, we're going to lose it anyway. Really, you know, the gulf in the class is that big. Let's just see what we can do and get out of it. But realistically,
they would have wanted to win that game.
Oh, for sure. And they're in
more or less a 6 points on. You know, they've overtook Al Salih now. I mean, Al Salih, since they've come back from the mid-season break, they've won 1 game in 7 matches. Talk about a team going into the mid-season break, not once in the break. Since they've come back, it's just been disastrous. It's just not happened for them. And finally, like you say, they've come out the top 4 now, right at the wrong time of the season as well.
Is it Salal who take that 4th spot come the end of the season?
I think that, yeah. I do, yeah. I think that result's a big result for them. I think they've had a little kick up the backside in the last game when they got a good hiding. And I think now that result there, they can kick on, and all of a sudden then you're a couple of games away now from getting into the Qatar Cup. Nothing more exciting than that then. So, yeah, I think that's enough for them now. It's helped with the result from Garafa as well.
Right. That's coming up a little later, but now league leaders Al Dahail, absolutely no stopping them. And Al Khor would have had to come up with something very special, extraordinary, to get anything out of this one. Once again, it's Nick and Chris who describe the action.
Very dangerous. That's what they're looking for, Al Dahail.
beautiful, that one. It just unlucky there. Great. Masakni comes in off the line, threads a wonderful ball through to Namti, but there's just a little bit too much on it. But that's how dangerous they are.
Apart from that, Musa and Dame defenders.
He's one of them players, Mo, as if he comes on the pitch now, you'll see the difference. You know, he has a way of standing out.
Oh, what a ball! What a ball by Budiev! Oh, there's the opening. Balmaru's having a go at Ismail a minute ago. It seems to work because Ismail's open and scoring for Al Dahail.
It was difficult. There it is there. The defender just fell asleep. And there he is. He just gets behind the defender. Lovely first touch. And the next one's in the back of the net. And I'm pretty sure that's a massive sigh of relief, that for Dahail. Found it difficult in these first 15 or so minutes, you know, to get a grip of the game. It's like a training ground game with them now. Once they've got that goal, here we go again. This is what it's all about. Look, penalty.
Oh, yeah. He's going to give it, yeah. And the Howie just getting too tight to Masakni. El Arabi with his peculiar run up. Starts one side, runs over to the other. With a strange build up. It does the trick as he sends Al Dahail 2-0 into the lead. Penalty.
But then this boy here now, there's never in danger of him not putting it away. Gets the pace, gets the power, and just slides it past the goalkeeper, and it's 2-0 to Dahail. Just coming up to 30 minutes.
Here we go again. See it week after week. Make it look so easy. What a wonderful goal that was by Masakni. Is he going to stop scoring? He's right behind El Arabi now. That's Masakni grabbing his 19th goal and sees 3 goals behind. That's the 4th week on the bounce. I think we've seen that same pass and the same type of goal.
Yeah.
Who's going to stop Mendes?
You've got to, but I'll tell you something, Chris, what a finish that is, by the way, there. Just look at this by a guy who is absolutely on fire.
Maybe they can now with mistake by Hisham Yusuf, breaking for Alcor. Out wide to Al-Khalaki. Oh, and there's another chance for Yusuf. Oh, very similar to Yusuf, who's space to run into. Go on, stretch your legs, go on. Brought down that time. Right hand side. Hillel to the far post again. Al-Bariki with the header, just off the bar. Emile Lecomte scrambling across his goal. Really slipping on his head to Nante here again. Constant pressure coming from Al Dahail, Al Arak. To Nagy taking on the shot to the far post. What a goal by Nagy, driven low and hard. The old daisy cutter there, Nicholas. Makes it 4-0.
There it is with his right foot. Great strike with a bit of schwaz on it. You know, he just bends it around and he's joining as well. And it's now 4-0 to Dahail.
Oh, maybe Salem can use his pace now for Alcor. Salem up against Hisham. This is crossing to the near post. Delivery to Moez. Moez breaking forward now for Al Dahail. Still Moez out wide to Masakni. Masakni, what a goal this would be. Oh, it was end to end then. What? Oh, good work there by Al Arabi, and he's working back in midfield. Won the ball back for Al Dahail. Al Arak through to Masakni. Masakni! Oh, he's offside.
Not much to the game now at all, just 4-0, waiting for the clock to go down.
I think both sides just want the whistle to go, don't they?
They do, yeah. As we've covered with the Dahail games, it's very difficult once the job's been done now. Here's the ball over the top. It's a great pass.
Oh, where's the keeper going? Where's he going? If one of the teams were playing Al Rayyan after that, maybe there might be a bit of an upset, but here's Al Dahail having another shot from Masakni this time. Delivered over to Castan, not enough on it. Crashes into Hisham, yellow card to Castan. Red card. He just goes into Nagy now. There we go, that's deliberate. Using his elbow. I'm just wondering whether he says anything to the referee after the first yellow card. He's a professional player, one of the leaders of the team.
Right, business as usual there for Al Dahail, although word is that Nassif Bayawi, the head coach of Al Khor, he'd rested Madsen, of course, and Sarouche, main goal scorers for Al Khor, because of a yellow card situation. And they've got Al Salia in week 19 and wanted to avoid problems there.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Can fully understand it. Didn't at the time. We thought maybe drop them for tactical reasons, but that makes sense because, like I said before, you were talking about Salal and they're going to get anything from Al Hale. I don't think so. And certainly Al Khor going into this match, never going to win it for me. So can fully understand it. But good week's training now. Get them fit for this massive clash against Al Salia, which they need. Well, they need a positive result from that, don't they?
They do. They certainly do. Positive is all that we get from Al Hale week after week here in the QNB Stars League or in the AFC Champions League. Nick, it's just a joy to watch.
You're just ticking every box. Yeah, we was chatting to Chris before. They look set up for that Champions League. They've got to go far with that. But it's all set up for next week. You know, this was a big game. They've got the clean sheet as well. Same players, even when they do change it around a little bit. But a joy to watch. They've taken it not just to another level. They're just blowing teams apart now. Teams can't deal with them at all.
We looked at Mendes in previous weeks and his passing abilities. This week it's Boudieff who comes under the spotlight. I mean, you and Chris have picked out 4 lovely examples here.
He waits for it, you know. And what they do is they move the ball around, waiting for a situation. Obviously, as soon as it's opened up, he knows exactly what he's going to do. Just chip it over the top. Wonderful first touch from Ismail. It's in the back of the net. You know, they never stop believing, even when everyone gets behind the ball, which is difficult. I mean, look at this for a pass. You know, if you stood where he was, you couldn't see anything. You know, but the pass has got to be firm into his feet. The turn is unbelievable.
You know, 3 or 4 players. Out
3 or 4
and he gets a penalty anyway.
But once he turns there, you're going to dangle your foot anyway. But once again, just look at this. This football here is what they are all about. Look at it, it's wonderful. What do I say about one touch? Once you get that one touch right, you've cracked it. Finishes off with a shot, but unlucky that time it didn't hit the target. But that is what they're all about. That is why they could be the champions of the league without a shadow of a doubt. That's why next week is so exciting and so big. Both teams are capable of doing that.
So just have a look at that. Let's have a look at the one touch now, because this hasn't got the arrows on it. It's the same thing. It's just short and sharp, isn't it?
It's beautiful to watch. Look, there you go. The movement, the awareness.
If you're going to play one touch, you need movement off the ball, and it's off your teammates.
Do you know what? Out of the 2 sides, we have to start talking about next week. Out of the 2 sides, in and around the box, De Gea are fantastic at creating something. If you get Namty a yard outside the box or inside, if he's inside the box, you're in trouble, because he's fantastic at moving and creating situations from nothing, and they're wonderful to watch. That they are fantastic to watch. They must be thinking to themselves now, why are we not on the top of that double-decker bus now with the trophy? We've done everything.
We could do an hour's preview on that game next week.
Yes.
Dissect it and really go through both teams. It's fascinating how they match up.
We could do, actually. We could do a special. Let's put it.
Bring it on.
Let's put it to
Have
management.
we got time?
We'll find time, don't you worry. Let's look at opportunities for Al Khor, Yusuf and Al-Briki. Opportunities.
Yeah, it was a fantastic chance, and I don't know whether he's got it in his mind from the other week, the fantastic opportunity he had against Al Rayyan, very similar, and he's got underneath it again. He's just thinking, go towards the ball and attack it. It's easier said than done, you know. I've played in football games with a lack of confidence, and there's nothing worse. And you always seem to get the same opportunity. If I was scared of making a certain pass, you bet your bottom dollar to get the certain pass again. You're thinking, I don't really want to do this. Or Nick, you know, if he wasn't good at crossing one week, you get the opportunity to put a crossing. You're just a bit tentative, aren't you?
You tense up. The strangest thing, you tense up because you try and you want it to do. You know, when you're full of confidence, you relax and things happen. You don't look at the ball.
He scores the goal against Al Rayyan the other week. That he could put a blindfold on him.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
The ball looks bigger, the goals look bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Correct.
Right. The irony here is unbelievable. So Nassif Bey, how he leaves out Madsen and Sarouche because the yellow card situation. So the last thing he needs is anybody else getting suspended for the next game. What happens at the end? 89th, 90th minute? Castan. Now, watch it on the wide shot here, right? He barges there, he gets a yellow card. Look what he does to the referee. Bosh. Shoulder barges the referee. And then, because then they cut to this, our directors, so we see that. Yeah. It was only on, so that, and I spoke to Abdul Rahman, the FIFA referee, our colleague here, and he said, absolutely, that's a yellow card. And indeed, that's what he got. Yeah. You know, that's a yellow card. It's a shoulder barge. It's nothing nasty, but still, he's taken him out. Yeah. But of course, as he's given the yellow card, as you can see on the wide shot, he's walked past and he's given the referee one of those, well, I'm sorry, you're asking for it then.
He's one of the professionals.
I know.
We're talking about saving the best players for next week. Well, we need Castan, or the coach and the players need a Castan for next week. Now they're missing him at the back.
I tell
and
you,
they're going to replace him.
I tell you, he does look frustrated, their manager. He looks fuming at the side. You know, I think he comes in with really good ideas, and he's watching him now, and he looks, what he's seeing, he's not happy at all.
Well, Madsen didn't look happy either. But we know why he was there. But he doesn't belong there, does he? That's not Madsen's best position, to be fair.
He's got to play. You've got to play your best. But now we know what the story is. We understand it, and you know, hopefully he's fresh for the next game, because a lot of those sides down there have got some big important games ahead of them the next what, 3 weeks or whatever, 4 weeks when we come back, is it? You know, so it's huge for them.
Right, let's move on. Al Markhia at this stage of the season had very little option other than to win every game. Anything less was just a step closer to relegation. In week 18, they were up against the resurgent Al Gharafa. The last thing Al Markhia would have wanted was for an on-form Wesley Sneijder, but that's what they got. The Dutch international had them ahead in the 16th minute. He slotted away his second from the penalty spots after Taremi had been brought down, as you saw there in the penalty area. Then we saw one of the season's great comebacks just before the half-hour. Abdul Qadir rounded Yusuf from Al Markhia's first. Then we had to wait till the hour mark for something extraordinary. Eric Oliveira got his team level, which shocked Al Gharafa so much they switched off. 2 minutes later, Oliveira's free kick went sailing over Yusuf's head. A great win. 3-2 for Al Markhia. Who wants to explain that one? Chris?
I watched the second half. Could have been more. Could have had 2 more goals, Al Markhia.
What?
Probably.
Al Gharafa went 2-0 up.
I know, but they're in unfamiliar territory. They're playing Asian Champions League and then they're coming back to the QNB Stars League. Is that having an effect on the fitness? Maybe the manager, is he changing the players too much? They've got to balance it out. You can't keep playing Tuesday, Saturday. These players aren't used to it, are they? Yeah. So it's difficult. Where did they play in the week? They got a good result, didn't they?
Yeah, no, they won.
The Champions League. Then go 2-0 up. You fully expect them with the experience of Sneijder to see this game out. But then Al Markhia, we said last week, they went 1-0 up and they drew with, was it Al Khor? We said, was that their chance gone? But the new managers come in and they always seem to get a reaction, and he got the reaction from this game, certainly.
This Yusuf's had, well, he'll look back at this as not one of his finest games in goal.
Certainly not. Young goalkeeper.
Yeah, but you can say the same with Yusuf. You know, at the end for Gharafa, Yusuf is, you know, he's one of the players which hopefully should be playing in the 2022, and he made a huge mistake. But I'm happy they got the result here now, because all of a sudden it's made it interesting down there. It really has. You know, it'd have been tough if they'd gone through the whole season only winning one game. This gives them a chance now. Next game, massive, and the managers changed it without a shadow of a doubt. How they're in this position at the start with the players, what they've managed to bring into the club is beyond me. But they've given themselves a really good opportunity. And I tell you, the strange thing is Al Arabi getting the result, and all of a sudden thinking, hang on, we're okay now. They've gone and got a result as well, so it's still made it. It's still made it tight down.
That was the bottom two.
Yeah,
they both win.
Yeah, Eric Oliveira there, getting them level, and then they get this free kick. I mean, it's quite a ways out. You probably wouldn't expect what was to happen next.
But you think that where it is now, look, I mean, just look, you've got to see where the flight of the ball is. There's no one there, look, I mean, you can't, that should never ever happen at all, that. They've totally got it wrong then. If anything, they get a draw, but they end up losing the game, and, you know, I don't know, he's made it, listen, everyone makes mistakes when you get in, but this one here now, got to know where the ball is, especially where he's hitting from. You've got a second and a bit until the ball actually goes up, and he's just got caught underneath it. So
I did say at the beginning though that things at the bottom of the league shrouded, or the results at the bottom of the league shrouded in controversy, and this is it. So what's happened is that the QFA will meet on Tuesday to discuss this. So you are allowed in the QNB Stars League to field, you're allowed to register 7 resident players.
Resident the squad?
Here, yes.
In the squad?
In the squad.
Right.
But you're only allowed to field 5 in any one game.
Right, okay.
Now, those players from Yemen, in a new arrangement, are classified as resident players. So I'm referring to Ammar Hussein, 23-year-old midfielder who was fielded. But he's from Yemen, and he classifies as a resident, and they fielded 6 in that match versus the rule of 5. That's all I can tell you right now, and the QFA and the QSL will meet on Tuesday, and that will be discussed. Of course, if it is null and void, unbelievably, it'll be the second time this season that that's happened to Marquia, but it will result in a reversal of the result and it being given 3-0 to Al Gharafa.
When I look at that situation, if it's happened twice now, you can say it's from the admin side of the football club. But even as a manager, I would know what country my players are from and what their situation is. It's your job to know that. Everybody should know that. The players should know that. So never mind the admins at the side, the staff should know that.
Yeah. It's two big errors, which has cost. It hasn't definitely. They haven't come to the decision yet. But if it does, that's 6 points, which would shed a very different light on their current situation.
What about the QFA? Who's telling the football club as well? There's too many people that should know this. Something's
gone missing. For it to happen twice,
6 points.
Yeah,
6 points. That's enough for him to go down, really.
We talk about mistakes being made, Tursunoff going over, mistakes should never be allowed. That should never be allowed in football. Sure. That is like a childlike mistake.
Yeah.
Amateur. That's very amateur.
Very, very
from
poor.
Everyone, really. That's from the FA to everybody. You've got to say, hang on, he can't play. Someone's got to say something.
We've got to wait and see what the decision is on that one. We'll move on then. Al Sadd. Still very much in the title race, of course. They just had to carry on winning, certainly not slipping up. And in week 18, they were up against Al Ahly. Well, it was the Benedja show from the word go, and he sent Al Sadd on their way in the 5th minute. 3 more goals were to follow from the Algerian striker, but we had to wait until the second half for those. Despite his injury woes this season, when he slotted his 4th away in the 82nd minute, he moved his total for the season to 12. Al Ahly never gave up, but the gulf in class was evident to see. The final insult came in time added on when Hamroun put away his 10th of the season and really sent out a message to title rivals Al Dahail, who they meet next on March 1st. Nick Summerby.
There he is, that's what we've been talking about. I mean, forget about the full team, which knows wonderful. That guy there, Bunja, what an impact he's made. He's not played a lot of football. Fitness is you don't even question it. He scored loads. He scored 6, 7 goals or something like that in a couple of weeks.
Well, and in the AFC Champions League as well.
Absolutely, they're on fire. And as far you try and tell anybody in the dressing room or the club at Al Sadd that they're not going to win the league now, because they believe they've got it in there. They've got that bit between the team, and they have hit form. We're going to look at this Afif in a minute, which me and Chris are very, very impressed with. What a player he looks as well. But it's good. It's wonderful. Look at this for a cross as well. That's what he does best. Get it in there, right off the training ground. And it looks easy. They just, once again, we talk about Dahail. These are just blowing sides. They're just moving sides to side. It's not a problem at all. Couldn't get the words out, man. Blowing sides and sides.
We know what you mean.
What's the word I'm looking for then? They're just absolutely walking through teams. There we go, we're on it now. I'm too excited. I can't sleep about this game. It's a huge game, absolutely. Look at all these goals as well. Look, home advantage, is that going to help Dahail? Is that a little bit of, does that help them in some sort of capacity?
That's a better word.
Thank you. Where's that come from? Just dig yourself out of a big word. I've never used that in my life.
Wonderful.
Felt good though.
You're just excited watching all these Bunja goals go in. This is Hamroun. That's his 10th of the season, let's not forget. He's happy with that sort of contribution. 4 more weeks to go. Who says he won't be up to the sort of 12-15 mark?
I'm dreading the preview show when you ask me for a score.
Don't worry. We've got time to think about that.
What a game.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
To pull them apart, it's player by player. They're very similar.
I know it's not a definite,
level.
But it's pretty much the defining game.
Oh, definitely.
If Al Sadd.
They've got to win, though.
They've got to win, yeah. A draw will just...
Dahail don't know how to play for the draw. It's all right saying they only need a draw. Nobody knows how to play for the draw.
No, exactly.
You can shut up short and get plenty players behind the ball, but Dahail don't do that. So.
Yeah, and they've got a superior goal difference as well, should things get down to that, but it's not going to get to that.
Well, hang on, Rodri, don't we? With Al Sadd, after Dahail, they've got Salal. They're still fighting to get into 4th, by the way. Yeah. That's not a given.
Well, they're there at the moment.
And Al Khor as well after that. So they might be at the bottom, them, and they're fighting. We flip it again. De Gea, Karatia. They're scrapping down there as well, aren't they? And then Mark here after that. It's not one of them ones they go, well, they've won it, whoever wins next week.
I have this in the commentary room every night whenever I'm there.
I know.
This blue book here full of fixtures and the
permutations, arrows everywhere.
When I'm talking, I can hear it flicking away in the background.
Got it. Let's look at one of the players. Look, we won't look at Bunja, we'll look at Akram Afif. And you picked out some wonderful moments.
This boy's special, and he's special because of his touch. Do you know what? Me and Chris, we can look at a player and straight away can go, yes. His touches, his awareness, he's got the full package. This is the star of come out of Aspire, and you just look at somebody, look at this for a touch. Here we go. How's this for you? Look, awareness around the box, and there's your strike as well. He's a big player. This, you know, and he looks exciting. I can't wait to see till he gets his first goal. Here you go, Bunja. There you go. Get on the end of this. Look at this for a cross as well. And he's...
it's funny, isn't it? They all look simple things.
He's got a great footballing brain.
Yeah. Look at that again, look.
As well as great technical... he makes it look easy. One of those players gets his head up, always picks the right pass, and you just know straight away, like you said, Nick, he's got a footballing brain.
He's got, yeah, but he's now... I mean, we talk about Moes. I mean, we're lucky. These players, I'm telling you something, these players what are coming through now, the ones which are supposed to be playing in the 2022, they look the part. They look wonderful. I'm telling you that. I mean, he is... I want to see more of him. But do you know what? Don't think he gets in the starting lineup next week.
Oh, no. It's all about competition for places. That's what makes the great sides. And I'm sure Nick and Chris have got plenty to talk about on that front. Let's move on to the final match. It was Qatar Sports Club, very much on the rise. In week 18, they were up against Al Rayyan. Michael Laudrup's side growing in confidence, especially after some solid performances in the AFC Champions League. Once again, it's Nick and Chris describing the action.
Vieira under pressure from Omari. Omari just can't stop scoring at the moment for the home side. That's a useful pass all through to Hamadallah. Hamadallah, can he score for Al Rayyan? Oh, he's past the post. What a chance for Al Rayyan in the opening 30 seconds.
Well, they're just too good. They're organised. They look strong. They look not like what they're like early in the season.
Salim just getting too tight to batter. Free kick to Rayyan.
Bunja, he didn't give him an inch at all night.
Oh, wonderful vision by Tabata Hamadallah. 1-0. Offside.
It's close, Chris. It's really close because his body's leaning.
If you look at his feet, though, Nick. Zipping the ball about. Here's Omar now. Omari trying to lay it off. Omar might get in there. If he can just squeeze across here. It's in the near post. Omari at the near post. Oh, just sees his effort go wide.
Here now, breaking into the box here now, there's Omari. Is there a shout for handball? Referee doesn't see it at all.
Musa, what a ball. What a ball by Musa. It was from a deep... Oh, free, I don't want to say by Alcacer again. Kelly comes in the middle of the goal, from the edge of the box, really. Gets his header, it was a wonderful header on target, but Alcacer keeps... Oh, there's another chance, oh no! Shouldn't say oh no, it's a great goal, end to end there.
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely top quality there. The header for Qatar, wonderful save, but they go down the other end, and who's it fall to right in front of the goal there?
Wonderful ball into the box there, goes past Husam, Hamadallah takes it on the volley. Wonderful finish, he deserves a goal. He's had 2 or 3 good chances so far, but it came from a corner for Qatar Sports Club. Oh, what a ball by Cole Hamadallah to make it 2. What a finish by Hamadallah.
Absolutely fantastic, and we've seen 2 wonderful passes, by the way. Talk about dissections of passes, wonderful. This time it's from Ko from the left-hand side, lays the ball up. Wonderful first touch, and that's what Hamadallah's all about. Yeah, absolutely fantastic pass.
Look at Mode there, he's playing wing-back. They've got a free central defender. He's got to be further up there. He plays Hamadallah on. There's no doubt about that finish. Knee injuries hobbling all over the pitch, but I'll tell you what, stops him heading the ball away, putting in blocks. Qatar Sports Club were pushing around back, but defenders were top-notch by Al Rayyan in the second half.
Yeah, I tell you what, they deserve it, by the way, Qatar. Here's a free kick.
Oh, shut up, a great save by Alcacer.
Mutawali there just speaking to the referee. Game get back on. Not pushing forward there. Can he get in front?
Here he is. Here he is. Can make it free. Mutawali nips in behind Gamal. Bit of a mix-up between Jassim and Gamal at the back for Qatar Sports Club, and Mutawali nips in and slides on from a tight angle. 3-0 Al Rayyan.
Wonderful play, by the way, from Mutawali. Look at him chasing it, getting in front of the defender, and a very, very difficult angle, and he just slides it past, which must be now game over. There's a manager looking in the background, must be delighted with this goal. He's ripped up, isn't he? You know, it's a nice change for them. There's the ball over the top. Hamadallah, here we go.
On for his hat-trick. Hamadallah fires over. Slippy pass there, and Alcacer comes racing out of goal.
And the referee think a little bit before you make any rash decisions, but he comes rushing out there and makes the foul. Once again, they've had a lot of opportunities. They do deserve a goal, Qatar, for what performance they've given.
Jimenez over.
Especially the sides there. Rayyan, good result. Yeah. Obviously,
from home.
The two sides, De Gea and Sad, have been fantastic.
Strong out they are, boys. Here comes Gallo now for Qatar Sports Club. What a pass! Oh, Ali, another chance again. Good movement by Sebastian. He's carrying on his run. Tabata. Pick out Sebastian. Here he is. Can he make it? 4. Tabata will into the near post. Tabata grabs his 12th for the season.
I'm just going to say it's not very often he doesn't join in the fun at all, but wonderful play. Falls nicely for him. And there he is, just to smash it into the net there to make it 4-0.
Into the near post. 4-0 on the net now for Al Rayyan. Ali though. Inside to Coe. Can he take the volley on? Coe does. Oh my word, it's off the post. What's a goal that would have been by Coe. Wonderful effort by Coe. Oh.
Well, all the top teams in week 18 were just a class apart, and Al Rayyan, no exception. Chris Macon.
Well, they looked very good going forward, so dangerous, but Qatar Sports Club, it was a wonderful performance. And talking about a manager that's gone in and turned around the fortunes of the football team, it's got to be Coach Mubarak.
Yeah, but to say
they look
that,
wonderful.
Yeah, they do, but that just goes to show how good Al Rayyan's performance was.
Yeah, you can't sometimes. It's just the quality of what they've got. And Alcacer, by the way, he did wonderful, the goalkeeper. Got to say that, he kept them in the game. But that was a tough game. I don't think they expected that. A difficult couple of weeks with the Champions League. And all of a sudden, I thought once they get the first goal or whatever, I thought they thought it'd be easy. Not at all. They kept going. I think they were 3-4-0 down, and they just kept coming at them. Yeah. Qatar, it was a difficult game. Big improvement by Qatar, even though they got beat 4-0.
OK, let's have a look. We looked at Al Duhail and their wonderful passing and Boudieff, but Al Rayyan were at it as well. Beautiful
pass, by the way. Well done by the goalkeeper for coming out, but that's a real testing pass. It's a fantastic pass. I mean, this is the header here now, but we're not
back to front, isn't it?
Back to front. Just watch this here now. But watch the pass here now. It's all about the pass. Keep your eye on Hamadallah. Can he feed it round the corner? He does, yeah, and it just sets up nicely. I mean, this is a corner for
what
Qatar.
A pass.
Absolutely fantastic pass there.
Don't think he meant it for Hamadallah.
Doesn't matter. Well, Hamadallah didn't have to break straight. And what about this from Coe?
Yeah, but, I mean,
Boudieff.
Very much like Boudieff, very much like Xavi. You know, he just threads it through. Look at his first touch, and this is what this guy does best there. Just slides it past the keeper. You know, and as much as what they did, Qatar, just that little bits of quality there was too much for them.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching Al Rayyan this weekend, I have to say. Yeah. Al Khater in goal, you mentioned him, Chris.
Wonderful.
A couple of great saves, that one there.
Pushed 2 onto the bar.
Yeah.
So that's how well Qatar Sports Club played, because they really tested Al Rayyan at the back, and Al Khater pulled off 3 world-class saves. And they managed to keep the clean sheet, but this is at the near post, and we first of all, we thought Omari put it straight out of play. It's a wonderful touch. Here we go. Sights of touches there, takes it past the post there by Al Khater. And he had a wonderful night. There's another one onto the bar. Now, normally that comes off the bar and goes in off your head. He went out for a corner. Watch.
Well, the performance got him a man of the match accolade, probably quite rightly so. I mean, we saw 3 there that could quite easily have gone in.
Hamadallah didn't get them. He was excellent on the night.
He was.
He could have had 4 goals, Hamadallah.
He could have, but he didn't get it.
Alcatel, yeah, can fully understand it, yeah.
But you can understand what he says there, the manager, about them. They want to keep the form up for going into the Champions League, and that was a good performance.
Yeah, and solid in the AFC Champions League as well.
Absolutely.
You know, against Al Ain, a big club.
I think that's given them a lot. I think that's given them a lot of belief.
Yeah.
What was the game early in the season where they beat Al Sadd, and that gave them the belief as well. And I think that result in the Champions League's done the same thing. So they look like they're back on top again. Too late for the league, but obviously the cups and the Champions League for them.
All right, then let's recap the results from week 18. So Al Arabi 2-1 winners over Al Kharatiat on Friday. Then Salal, that big win over Al Salia, that moved them into 4th spot. We'll show you the league table in just a moment. You can see exactly what's happened there. Then on Saturday, Al Dahel's 4-0 win over Al Khor, very convincing. The league leaders a step closer to the title. Al Markhia 3-2 win over Al Garafa. We have to wait and see following the meeting on Tuesday whether that will be reversed. Al Sadd 5-0 winners over Al Ahly, and Qatar Sports Club losing 4-0 to Al Rayyan on the Sunday. There's a recap of all the results from week 18. So let's show you the league table and what that means, and you'll see right at the top it's Al Dahail just a couple of points clear. I think that's a little bit wrong there. Should be just a couple of points clear of Al Sadd. Al Rayyan in 3rd. It's Salal in 4th. That's the big news. Al Salia 5th. Al Garafa 6th. Down at the bottom, and Al Markhia, our bottom spot. Look, Al Kharatiat there in that playoff zone. Now, Al Arabi have lifted themselves out with that win in week 18. Al Khor in 9th. Qatar Sports Club looking a lot more solid there in 8th place. There you go. That's the league table for you. Let's now show you the top 3 goals of week 18 as chosen by Nick and Chris. And in 3rd place...
Me? Nagy,
go on.
Nagy, remember him, ex-LGH. Well, he's joined in the fun as well. Wonderful strike. Doesn't really look very much from here. I think what did Chris call it, a P-roller. You know, but if you look...
Grass cutter, I think.
Daisy cutter.
Daisy cutter.
You can have a P-roller. That's a P-roller as well. But all of a sudden, if you look from behind, you have this way in which you hit across the ball, and you aim a couple of yards just wide of that post and just watch it cut round, and it was a wonderful strike. Okay, I've just been looking at the bottom of the table, so I'm going to have to carry on with that in a minute, because if Marquet don't get that, that's them more or less finished, really. I'm sorry to the drum roll's going.
No, it's okay.
That puts them to 9 points. You know,
I'll restart the drum roll.
What are we talking about here?
I'm sorry, I'm just backwards and forwards. It's excitement.
Okay, number 2. Number 2, Chris, goes to...
Sad.
Oof, Al Kharatiat, what a goal.
Wonderful strike. Here we go. Touch him at the far post now. Comes at him with a little bit of pace, and he just absolutely puts him to the top corner. It's a fine finish. Here we go again. It's worth another look. Oh, lovely. Oh, here we go. This is the view. Oh, great technique. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the
we like the ones from behind, don't we?
Yeah, we do. But the top goal from week 18 goes to...
Salim. Salim. Here we go. He came on for carry.
Al Arabi.
Just his first touch. Where is it? Right over the goalkeeper there. They worried a bit with obviously the form of carry, and when he came off, you know, this guy looks like he's going to be cemented in from here to the end of the season. That is top quality, that. And it rounded off a fantastic performance from Al Arabi.
Fantastic, great goal and a great win for Al Arabi. Is that the momentum they need to keep them out of trouble? We'll just have to wait and see. It's all eyes to week 19 already now. It's amazing how quickly things move, and it's that big game on March the 1st. That will pretty much define who wins the title, I'd say. It's going to be Al Dahail versus Al Sadd. Your thoughts? Let's look ahead to it quickly now.
They cannot. I mean, we're going to interview the players, the managers. They cannot play this down. They cannot say it's game by game. You know, I want to know what they're actually thinking. We want to know. We want to look at the battles in midfield, the wingers, 2 centre forwards, what score goals for fun. Me and Chris think maybe Dahail, with them not being able to keep a clean sheet they did last week, but you can argue a lot about it. This is the game. This is possibly the biggest game what we've covered since we've been here. There's so much at stake for this. This is huge.
Can we guarantee goals?
I just
more or less guaranteed goals.
I think, well, actually, Nick asked me this in the studio show yesterday and said, you know, will they be cagey? And I just said, because he asked me, and I said, well, I don't think either side knows how to do that.
Yeah.
do they?
I don't think they want to.
Yeah, but,
No,
Chris, the reason why I say that is because the draw is good enough for De Gea. I don't see that. I don't think that's what they're on. Can they shut up shop?
No.
Listen, it's set up.
Play like that,
it's set up for a Xavi free kick or a bit of magic or something, isn't it?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of magic on the field
really
that
exciting.
night. Okay, that is March the 1st, so make sure you join us for that. Before that, of course, will be the QNB Stars League preview show. We will have a special preview looking ahead to that match on March the 1st. The preview will be Wednesday, February the 28th at 21:30 Doha time. Make sure you join us for that special preview show. From Nick Summery, Chris Macon and myself, bye for now.